Living at my house was very depressing and very, I don't know, very sad and hurting. There was a lot of pain in my family. Whenever my dad would get mad, whenever he drank or something, he would beat us really bad. And sometimes he would take the anger out on my mom, and it kind of scared us because it got worse every single day. He would start drinking more, and he'd leave home and then come back at midnight and then just start beating on us and stuff like that. It was just bad. It was very hard for me because you expect more from your dad and your mom and stuff like that, and him doing that, it just put a lot of hurt in my heart, and it just changed me. Whenever I would see families that were happy, I would get angry because I would always say why isn't my family like that? So I always hated kids that had a better family than I did. I started beating kids at school, getting into fights all the time, getting suspended. I started stealing from places and what's it called? I don't know, I was just doing bad stuff. My lowest point was whenever my dad got home really late. It was around 1, and I was asleep, and I guess my mom threw away one of his weed packs or something like that, and he just started beating it on her, and I woke up and he was just slamming her into the door and stuff like that, and he tried to drag her out, and he hit her with the door, and it broke her hip, and I think that was the lowest point of my life. I didn't know God at that moment. I mean, my mom really, she talked about God all the time and that he would help us and stuff, but I reached a point where I was if he's there, then why would he let this happen to me? So I just stopped talking to him. It made me feel he didn't value us at all, because if he really cared, he wouldn't have done that to us. I was feeling I would end up dead or something, or end up on the streets. The day that I got picked up by CPS, I was at school and I had a volleyball tournament that day. And I was in class and some lady came to my class and she was like, we gotta leave. And they wrote me a pass, and I left class and I went to this, it was a CPS office. And I sat there and they asked us questions, and I wasn't gonna lie to them, so I told them the truth. And my brother got mad at me because he knew that we were going to be taken away, but I didn't understand. And I had really bad bruises and marks, and I had really bad bruises on my head because he would take anything that he saw and slam it on our heads or whatever. And I remember that day was whenever me and my mom got in a fight, and she started choking me, and I got up and we were fighting, and I felt nobody cared. Nobody cared about me, nobody cared about my family or what we were going through. My first night at the children's home, I was really depressed. I was really sad. I was always in my room crying. I really didn't talk to anybody because I didn't feel like they cared. So I would always cry myself to sleep. And I was nobody's gonna like me here. I'm so mean and everything. And I walked in and everybody was so nice, and they were hello, nice to meet you and stuff like that. And I went in the office and everybody was so nice and talking to me, and I was okay, this is pretty good. And then they got my stuff and took me to Guy Saunders, and every girl in there was so sweet. They wanted to know who I was, and people were really nice to me. So I couldn't be mean back, so I was okay. And then as I started growing out of that stage, I started realizing that this place was way better, and that everybody was nicer, and I felt like I was important here. And then I started feeling like it was my new family, like I was just brand new. One day I went to church and they were talking about all the pain that's happening in my life and everything, that Jesus will help me through it and he has a plan, and I just started bawling. I was like really crying, like hard. And then they said, well, Jesus loves you so much. I felt like this was my new life and that I had a fresh start and that my life would change. And from that day on, I just felt like a brand new person. I mean, I still have my past in me, but I just felt brand new. It was really hard for me to forgive my parents because they put me through a lot of pain, and I was really mad and upset at them for doing that to me. But as I grew closer to the Lord, I just knew in my heart that God forgave me, so why couldn't I do the same for my parents? Because that would make me a better person and take that burden off of me. The way that they treat me here is like way better than what my real parents treated me. The people that love me here and treat me really well makes me feel really like happy and joyful. I'm a better person now, and stronger and prettier. I went through a lot of stuff in my life, and I still believe that there's a brighter future in my life. When I think about the past, it makes me kind of happy to know that I made it through and that I'm living in a better place, and it just brings joy. I'm not sad like I used to be whenever I think about the past. I've been through a lot in my life, but that just made me stronger, and I just want to be better than what my parents were, or have a better life. If I hadn't come to the Children's Home, I would not be the person I am right now. When I think about the future, it makes me really happy knowing that I would graduate, that I would go to college, make my own money, live in a big house. Knowing that I do have a future and that I do have hope, I just feel like I see a light in my life. I'm proud that I'm a joyful person. I'm proud that I've become a better dancer. It just makes me really happy. Like, it takes all the pain and all the sadness away, and you just get to express yourself, and I like it a lot. Once we have music and stuff, we just come together and we just dance together. They feel like they can join me, which I love, because I really like seeing kids just dance. When I'm dancing, it just shows all the joy and the light that I have in me. I'm proud that I've become a better dancer.